Joyrider TV coming live this week from the beach, a day late and not on the water, so something went on there, but yeah, so I'm coming live on the beach here at Wild Wind Sailing Holidays in Greece. Just wait and see if anybody's tuning in today, and if you're tuning in today, then hello, nice to have you on board. As you can see, even the wind at the moment is, let's call it patchy. It's not modern vintage, it's patchy wind, nothing much going on there. And but as of tomorrow, I think we've got a good 3 days of solid good stuff going on, which will be nice. So yeah, gonna hopefully be getting out either on a 16 or the 14 tomorrow, single-handed, but I might see. Oh, hi Sam, how you doing? Nice to have you on board. Yeah, just saying I might be getting out tomorrow on a 16, hopefully recruiting a cameraman to hold a camera and to be part of the action. And if it's windy, more beans to really set it on fire in that way. But single-handed, because we've still got no safety cover, and there is the threat of one here too in Belgium. I can't put them on the beach yet. I'm sure the time is coming soon where everybody everywhere is going to be able to go in the sea again on their vessels of choice. Haven't been out so much this week, to be honest, due to there being absolutely zero wind. I think, yeah, I think it was actually last week when I went out on the 14 to, oh, hello Andy, nice to have you on board. Yeah, I think it was Friday when I went out on the 14 filming the tacking failure video, which I actually personally found very useful indeed, just failing at tacking. Oh, hello Rob. South Africa's still in lockdown. Unlucky man. I'm sure it should and let you get out there. Surely. Yeah, so I got out on the 14 on Friday. Light wind, failing at tacking. Oh, hi. I keep sailing. I can only match my best speed, 16.95. Yeah, so the key to going faster is going out with more wind. No, it's simple. If you could go out when the wind is stronger but the sea is still flat, then you can really get some big numbers. It all just depends on your ability to stay in control of the boat. Start off on a beam reach, double trapezing, playing the main sheet. As the gust comes along, spot the gust early, uncleat the main sheet, and wait for the boat to respond. The second the boat responds, ease an armful of main sheet as the hull lifts, and as the hull lifts, dial it downwind, keeping the hull out of the water, and then once you're on your new course, gently sheet in the main sheet again. Hello Lucas, videos are amazing. Oh, thank you very much, keep up the good work. Will do. Hello Paint Boy, howdy from Texas. Yeehaw! Yeah, howdy from Vasiliki, nice to have you with us. Yeah, as oh hi Frank, that'd be Frank in Canada I believe. Yeah, so I'm clearly not on the water this afternoon because this wind is so patchy. There's pretty much nothing, and then there's a little bit. And not only that, but I'm responsible for a small chap at the moment. Hi, Giles. That'd be Giles somewhere in Yorkshire. Is that correct? Responsible for a small chap at the moment who I don't think was too keen to get out of the boat. Yep. Aha. Yeah, I remember, we all remember Giles is 16 from Show Us Your Cat with the red and white. I think it's like the Coca-Cola looking sails. Sweet. Yes, so that is the size of it. I'm not on the water. Sorry about that. So I thought we could just use this time if anybody's got any burning questions. It's much more practical for me to answer questions while I'm just standing in the boat park rather than when we're out on the boat and it's all a bit tricky. Oh, hi, Chris. Dart is in bits. Oh, is C2 faster on a... Oh, sorry, I'll see if I can get... Can I... Oh, yes, you can. On a beam reach or downwind with the spinnaker up. So Chris's Dart 18's in bits. Firstly, Chris, I just did Chris some fantastic custom designs with his Dart 18 on. If you go to totaljoyrider.com, you'll see there's now some Dart 18 t-shirts in the store, which is Chris's responsibility, basically, because he said, come on, let's have a Dart 18 t-shirt done. Yeah, whatever class of boat, I'm working on Hobie 15, Prindle 15 t-shirt at the moment for Frank. It's not easy because I haven't got much to go off with getting the shape of the hull right. It's very important. Anyway, the C2, where is it quickest? I think with a lot of these boats, they are actually quickest without the spinnaker up. Hi James, how you doing? Nice to have you on board as always. Unless you've got a special spinnaker that is very, very flat, because the flat spinnaker will be able to, you won't have to sail as deep with it to control the power, and it'll be acting more like a big jib. Because most spinnakers have got quite a bit of shape, when you get out in the strong wind with the spinnaker, rather than just going faster and faster, the spinnaker just takes you more downwind, so you don't actually go much faster. Whereas on a 2-sail reach, main and jib, how do you measure your self-tacking jib line to get it right length? Ooh, Scorchio, that's a tough one. All right, I'll come on to that shortly. Yeah, so 2-sail reach on a beam reach for the true wind. So the true wind coming totally side on to the boat. And then every time the hull lifts, transferring that energy that lifts the hull into more boat speed by going more downwind. That is how you reach the top speed of the boat. Unless you've got a very flat spinnaker, which you'll still do exactly the same thing, but because the spinnaker's flat, you won't go as deep downwind. Hello, Colin. I can get some concrete information. Yes. Sorry. Oh, what am I doing? I'm just coming back to you, Frank, in a minute. Boat setup, mast rate, downhaul settings. Have you ever sailed a yacht? Oh my goodness. Yeah, so Colin, if you what type of boat is it that you have? And then we can take it from there. If it is an F18 or a Hobie 16, then the answer is yes, you can get that information. It's a 16. Yes, I have actually made a video about that on joyridertv. Everything being perfect, what do you think is the Hobie 16 top speed? Oh, these questions are fantastic. Hobie 6, that's the quickest one actually, Giles. So I'll answer that first. The Hobie 16 top speed. I believe you could probably shoot me down in flames if you want to here, but I think I'm looking at trying to get 27 knots out of a Hobie 16. Sounds dangerous. Fastest I've ever been in my whole life with a GPS on was 25.6, but I think she's got more to give. The secret is more wind and staying in control. That's all there is to it, which is why I'm reasonably fanatical about rudders on the boat. So hold on, just going back through the comments here. So Frank, how do you measure your self-tacking jib line? That'd be for the F18, I believe. To get that the right length, there is an element of trial and error. You want to, if I haven't got an F18 here, but we can pretend with a Hobie 16. So the end, oh, was that self-tacking jib line? Oh. Okay, Frank, I'll get back to you on that one. That is actually quite a difficult question to answer. How do you measure the self-tacking jib line on an F18? Have I ever sailed a yacht? Yes. I haven't really put much time into yacht sailing. My father used to be quite involved with yacht sailing. He used to be a navigator on a racing yacht, class 2 racing yacht off the east coast of England. They raced across to Holland quite a lot, in the East Anglian Racing. I can't remember what it was called exactly. Did a bit with my dad, and then a few years ago I was left looking after a dragonfly trimaran here in Vasiliki, which was wicked. Let's hear it for the J class. Oh yeah. Let's hear it for the J class. Love the J class. So that was that. Yeah, so back to Colin. Yes, there is some information here on Joyrider TV about mast rake and downhaul settings and that kind of thing. But I'll put a link somewhere later on. I'll put a link just in the community tab on the Joyrider TV, Joyrider TV YouTube channel, a link to the Hobie 16 tuning guide, which was written by Gavin Colby, who is a previous world champion, and he has actually just come through for us all with the numbers for Dolphin Strike attention on the Hobie 16. I know that is quite a juicy announcement. I'm very excited about that. Hopefully, once I've put Show Us Your Cat together tomorrow, I'll have some time to start having a look at the numbers that Gavin's supplied and put them into the master computer. Because here we go. I know this wasn't answering a question. These two boats, this boat here and this boat here, this one is actually 4.5 centimeters wider at the bows than this one because of the bend in the Dolphin Striker. I can actually see it from here. Right, are we looking how bent that front beam is? All right, take a photograph with your mind and then we'll move on to this one. And you can see, maybe you can see, that the front beam on this one isn't as curved, which means the boat is wider. Amazing. I loved the video of C2 F18 sailing with Swedish Johnny. We'd love to see more of them. Oh yeah, Swedish Johnny is an absolute legend. I know you love the Hobie 16, the F18. All right, hold on, just got to get your... I've just learned how to get the messages back up. This is a breakthrough. Now, here, all right, just to put the question into words here. Hobie 16 versus F16. Now, the F16 is very much like, for those of you who don't know, is like an F18, so like the C2, like a Hobie Tiger, but smaller and much, much lighter, designed for lighter teams. I would say probably team of about 130, 140 kilos would be right in the pocket for the F16. We were meant to be getting an F16 here this year, a Viper from Goodall Designs, but unfortunately because of the situation and thus having zero money at all. It meant we couldn't get it this year, but hopefully next year we'll be back on track for getting one out here. And to be honest, I am absolutely mad for it. I can't wait to get my hands on one and see what it's like, because I love the F18, I love the Hobie 16, so an F18 with 16-foot hulls, could that be the best of both worlds? However, the Hobie 16 will always have a special place for me, because you can throw as much wind at it as you like and you don't have to worry about breaking it. You can drive it like you stole it. You could just push it to the edge and beyond, and you can keep it going. Whereas with the more exotic boats, these newer boats, they do have a slightly lower... What's up, Krusty Burger? Yes, I love your YouTube handle. That is strong. Yeah, so I think the F16, like the F18, has got a lower wind capacity in terms of when you're going to start costing quite a lot of money. So for that reason, I love the Hobie 16. For the less wind, I totally love the Tornado, because it is such a thing of beauty and I like the size. But it comes very close to the F18. So the F16, especially this Viper that we've got I should have been out on it now, also it was a convertible, which meant it foils when you want it to foil, and then you can put straight boards in for F16 racing. Now that sounds like possibly one of the most... Yeah, feel free. I think I stole that quote myself, David. Yeah, can you put a bowsprit on a Hobie 16? Yes, you can. And if you want to have a look at that, all you need to do is have a look at any of my videos from Mauritius, where I was sailing a Hobie 16 with a spinnaker on board, introduction to sailing, the steam with in those videos. What's the most fun you've ever had on a boat? Whoa, that's a question. Jimmy Dodger. Nice to have you with us, Jimmy. I think just years and years of going really, really fast on Hobie 16s here in Vasiliki. That is a strong contender, but that isn't one single time. I think one of the best times is actually, there's a race that I filmed from Lake Garda on the Tornado with the one and only Swedish John. And that particular race, because we were smashing it, that was a really special time. Loved it. Sailing the Round Texel race, which is the biggest catamaran race in the world for the numbers of participants, with a guy called Coach Tim. We did that on a Hobie Tiger back in, I think it was 2004. That was a good time. Had a good time that day. Going out, sending it in the lagoon in Mauritius. Again, there's a video on that. That was almost too much fun. That was just like being in like a skate park for catamaran sailing. It was very good. That I quite enjoyed. So I'm just going to go back and have a look. We sailed the stop that. We sailed the convertible in North Carolina last weekend. The thing rips. Falling close to 30 knots. Are you kidding? Oh my goodness. That is a big speed. Oh my God. That has got to really... Great video in Lake Garda. I love that. It's that Lake Garda video, considering it's quite a long video, I don't know, half an hour long, I've actually watched it all the way through, probably more than any of the other videos that I've ever made. just because it takes me right back there. And the feeling that you get on the race course, you can get that same feeling, although not the actual getting wet and everything, of the adrenaline of racing against other real people with virtual regatta on the computer or on your iPad or on your telephone. Amazing. Can you believe that? Maybe not for everyone, but for me, you do get some similar feelings. Right, I'm just going back through the questions here. Have you ever sailed a wasp or a moth? No and no. The only foiling boats that I've sailed have been here, which have been the Laser and the RS Aero, for which we have foiling kits where basically the foils drop into the boat and the boat flies. Brilliant. Really fun, those boats. And the Laser, especially the foiling Laser, is brilliant. It is so much fun. In fact, the foiling Laser would probably be up there with maybe in my top 50 sails of all time, because it's so much fun. The crashes are fantastic. Again, you're not going to believe it, but there's videos on the channel of the foiling Laser and the foiling Aero. I have to be honest, I preferred the Laser to the Aero. Don't know why. But I'd like to try it. Obviously, I think like anybody who is into going sailing and crashing reasonably hard, I would love to try a foiling moth, but I think I'd be spending most of my time swimming. All right, back to previous comments. What's the fastest you have ever been in any dinghy? If we're calling a small catamaran a dinghy, then that's 25.6 knots on a Hobie 16. But on a dinghy, I've never actually been with the GPS, so I don't actually know. Can you sail the Hobie 16 on just the mainsail without the jib for single-handed in a breeze? To be honest, I've never tried it, the Hobie 16 without the jib, because on the Hobie 16, all the rig tension goes on the jib, so no jib would mean you'd have to rig up some other alternative means for your rig tension. Better is what, who is it who sent me pictures? Oh, a chap called Leven in Belgium, who's a very, very good Hobie 16 sailor. He sent me some pictures of him sailing the 16 using an easy sail. An easy sail is basically a smaller mainsail for a Hobie 16, which has got slightly less sail area, I believe, than the reefed Hobie 16. And that is a much better way than just ditching the jib. I know that ditching the jib means you're not buying another sail, or reefing the mainsail. There's a video on that as well, of course. Reefing the mainsail would be the best choice with the equipment that you have at the moment, rather than just going out without the jib. I think the boat wouldn't be very well balanced without the jib. All right, next question. What do you think about painting the Hobie 16 hull? Yeah, I wouldn't do it. I'd go for that, what do they call that? The rat look, I think they call it, in cars in America, where you've got a boat that looks kind of used, like my Tornado's got brown patches all over it, which I think has got a certain element of, there's a certain element there. If you do want to refinish your boat, then it would need to be you need to strip it all the way back and then get it re-gel coated by somebody who does that, if you want a good end result. To actually paint the boat, like to spray it, I think, I'm not sure. But I'm not particularly well qualified to comment on this. I saw you said painting the mast as well. Yeah, definitely don't paint the mast, because if you're painting an aluminium mast, after not much time, especially being in Turkey where it's hot, that paint's going to start flaking off, and I think it's not going to look good. I would just stick with the mast as it is. I'm currently refurbishing my Tornado mast, but that's a carbon one, which it does need a coating on it to protect it, whereas the aluminium masts, they don't need anything on them, so don't paint the mast. All right, and I think that brings us up to date. So there we go. Let's give you an update on what we're up to here at Wild Wind Sailing Holidays in Vasiliki in Greece. So at the moment, I'm going to flip you around. We've got 1, 2, 3, and over there 4, 5 Hobie 16s ready to rock. We've got the Hobie 14 over there, of course, as well. You'll notice that these two Hobie 15s are lacking a few parts at the moment. We're getting brand new custom built OS3 trampolines to put on those bad boys. This is what a custom built OS3 trampoline looks like. Absolutely fantastic, I think you'll find. Very nice indeed, with the blue vinyl trim. It's a high quality, excellent for the UV material. Adjustable toe straps, which of course you don't have on the normal 16 tramps. So if you like your toe strap a bit tighter or looser, it's up to you. Nice. Yes, we're getting those on the 15s there as well. And over here, these strange looking vessels, what the blazes is that? That is, they're two Hobie Pacifics, and on top of them, on top of them, we've got an FX1 on each, and those FX1s are just being refurbished, ready for assembly. And yes, I will be making an assembly video about the FX1. The Pacifics there are also going to be getting custom built OS3 trampolines, which is very exciting indeed. And then over yonder, you might be, I don't really dare walk over there because all right, let's do it. Let's do it. You've got to believe in your Wi-Fi signal sometimes. Okay, so as we come over here, for those with a keen eye, you might be able to spot a Good Old Designs C2 upside down in bits. All right, so for a bonus point, who can nip in with what are these other 4 hulls for? We're looking for a bonus point there. While you're coming up with those answers, we have also got 4 Hobie Tigers waiting for trampolines. We're waiting for some trampolines. We're just looking at the boats here. 4 Hobie Tigers, and as far as the cat fleet goes, that is where we're up to. Then I think all we've still got left is another 2 Pacifics, 2 Dragoons, that's the 13-foot boat, and I think that is possibly it, and another 15. So there we go. That's where we're up to with the catamarans. Monohulls, we've got some RS Zests, which are the single-handed beginner style, like a Pico, but much more modern, really, really nice boats. We've got the Laser 2000 there. We've got the RS 500, RS 200, and 2 Aeros, which can foil. That is nice. So that's where we're up to in the boat park with the actual situation here. In fact, if somebody could just pop a quick comment on anything at all, because I haven't had anything since the question about painting the mast, and just want to know that you're still getting me. But while perhaps that's coming up, yeah. So the situation here has improved pretty drastically. so much so that from the 15th of June, Greece has announced that they're going to let visitors come here from certain countries, and then, which I believe is something like 15 countries on the 15th of June. And then from the start of July, there'll be another list of countries which are then invited in to Greece to enjoy some lovely holidays in the sunshine with champagne. Sailing conditions, very nice too. So the biggest announcement is, yes, we here, Wild Wind Sailing Holidays, will be open from July the 1st. Biggest news of the day. So there we go. I think I'm going to hang it up there. Thanks very much for tuning in. It's been a pleasure as always. We'll try to do something a little bit more sparkly live next week. Hopefully there'll be a bit of wind back on, and we'll be able to go out and do some double trapezing on the 16 live, going very fast with the GPS, fully sending it. And that'll be a good video, I think. How fast can you go on a Hobie 16 whilst broadcasting live on YouTube? That'll be a big video. Other than that, what we've got coming up, we have got tomorrow 5:30 stretching for sailors live. Then Saturday, new video, woo, about what to wear when you go sailing. Massive, massive. That'll be on Saturday. Then Sunday we'll have Show Us Your Cat. Also on Sunday, this is big as well, we've got the Joyrider Cup on virtual regatta. If you'd like to get involved, you should get involved. We have got room for more racers on the race course. So if you want to get involved with some racing on virtual regatta, then just send me a message and I'll deal you in. It's really, really fun. We do 5 races and it usually takes about 45 minutes, and that'll be at the normal time on Sunday. So in fact, at the same time as when Show Us Your Cat is going out, that's when we'll be racing. And then we'll video the racing so you can watch it afterwards as well and show your friends. But if you haven't tried virtual regatta before, then do give it a go. Just go to the first virtual regatta video that I made, and that will take you through how to get started and everything. It's really fun. You don't have to be a sailor to do it. A little bit of sailing knowledge will certainly help, but you could do it on your PC, on your Mac, on your telephone, on your tablet, on anything else that you might have. Probably. It's really fun and it's free. So get involved. Apologies if you have been leaving comments and I haven't been responding. I'm just getting nothing coming through now. So I'm going to hang this up there. Thanks very much for tuning in. It's always a pleasure. And there we go.